Hi lovely bookish friends, I am here in Oxford because I went to the ball last week. If you've seen that video already, then that was so much fun, but now I'm going to spend a little bit of time exploring all of the cute independent bookshops that Oxford has to offer. Oxford is so stunning, it's so ancient and historical, and there's amazing libraries everywhere, so I can't wait to go and explore the little bookshops. I'm thinking I'm probably going to buy maybe 3 books. I'm going to set that as a target to no more than that, but I want to see if there's some like rare special editions and maybe just get some inspiration from my bookshops from these other amazing places. Joyce, which bookshop are we going to try and find first?
Blackwell's the huge one.
There's a fantasy one too, I've heard, like a whole fantasy bookshop.
We need to find it.
Cool. And I want to find the bookshop from last night at the ball as well, if we can.
Oh yeah.
Because
okay.
we met the owner of a bookshop and he started a bookshop the same year I did, so if we can find him, that would be so cool. Okay, let's go. We're all wrapped up. We're going to take you with us the whole time, but don't let us buy too many books, okay?
Yeah, Google Maps is our best friend.
That's the one I'm reading, and this one is set in Balliol College, which we just saw in Oxford. So cool. Okay, so we're in the Blackwell's fantasy bookshop and it's incredible. There's manga, there's anime, there's so many fantasy hardbacks, but there's also special editions. I had to show you my top favourites. We've got Fate Forged in Fire by Hazel McBride. She is such a gorgeous person. I've met her so many times in real life and loved every single experience I've had with her. And this is a matriarchal, dragons, enemies to lovers, fierce Scottish folklore. Incredible. Loved every single second of it. Amazing. Book 2 is coming out, I think, next year, maybe? There's this Name of the Wind, which I will not shut up about, but look at this cover. This is a special edition Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I think this is one of my favourite fantasies of all times, and it's in my top 3 books of all time as well. The poetry and the writing of it, you could reread it so many times, but also it's just got everything you want. Magic systems are complex, the character's incredible. I can't wait for book 3 to come out, and I will buy this in every single special edition that I ever find it. I actually already own that one. And lastly, Quicksilver. I really like this cover. I haven't read it for ages, but this is the one that I'm currently reading now. I've been persuaded by everyone who says it's amazing, and you know what? It is. It's worth reading. It's incredible. I'm really enjoying it so far. And maybe like this amount through, but because it's such a thick hardback, I couldn't bring it down to Oxford with me, so I don't have it with me currently. So I'm just kind of longingly looking at this one and waiting till I get back home to read more. Bookshop owner.
So I recommend Babel. This is Art of Kong. If you want to feel like you're in Oxford, this book is so good because you will feel like you are one of the students, you're part of Oxford. If you want to feel like us right now, Babel is the best book for you. And there is like all of the buildings, and it's like a fantasy but also with dark academia and beautiful writing, beautiful about colonialism as well, and yeah, 100% recommend Babel.
Okay, I was just saying to Joyce, this is one of the best fantasy sections I've ever seen. Like, the selection is huge. Every single book we're just going around being like, I want to buy that one and that one and that one. However, as a bookshop, it's quite inaccessible. There's no chairs anywhere, and I would really like to like sit down and look at some of these books and enjoy them more. And I'm going to go and get a hot chocolate just because there's nowhere to sit at all, and it makes it quite inaccessible a little bit. Okay, what would you rate this bookshop out of 10? 8. Yeah. 8 because the book selection is so good, every single book here I want to read, and they've got books that you haven't heard of normally, like they've got the rare ones as well as the common ones. However, as a bookshop experience, I like that we're upstairs and it's quite quiet, but there's nowhere to sit, and that makes it quite inaccessible. Like, I would like to stay and browse books for longer, but I do need to go and find like somewhere to sit down now, so I'm gonna go get hot chocolate hopefully. But I would definitely, yeah, maybe 8.2. I would give it 8.2. Yeah, I like the music as well, so. We're in the really big Blackwells now, and we're like 2 steps away from the front door because I immediately got caught by the non-fiction. And look, it's got The Restless Coast, which is a book that we had the author come and do a book signing and book launch at my bookshop. So that's really cool to like see it on the bookshelf here as well. This is one of the biggest bookshops and oldest bookshops in the whole of the UK. It's got a huge like underground room, so if you go right to the back of the bookshop and then go down, you'll see it opens up into this amazing cavern. But we are currently going to head upstairs because they also have a little coffee shop that's super cute, and we're going to go get a hot chocolate and maybe a cake as well, just to break up the book shopping. This was incredible. This is one of the best non-fiction books that I've read in the past couple of years. Is A River Alive by Robert Macfarlane. He is an amazing author and he makes things so relatable, and he talks about the spirituality of nature and how our connection with nature is not just essential to our living, but it's essential to our soul. And this book was unbelievable, really beautiful. This is the third and final installation in the Secret Commonwealth series. So if you read his Dark Materials, which is incredible, starts in Oxford, is completely amazing, one of the best series I've ever read, good, evil, biblical themes, fantasy, Lyra Blackwell, what a character, everything. That starts with The Northern Lights. This series, and this is the third and final one, is both a prequel and a sequel to that. I am so excited to read it and to just dive back into the world. Yeah, I can't wait. My mum's reading it now and she loves it. I got a extra chocolatey hot chocolate oat milk with a shot of gingerbread. Very autumnal. Okay, so I'm in a bookshop now. This is another bookshop in Oxford, the third one we've been to, and I've got some book recommendations for you that are YA. But what I would say is, looking around all of the different bookshops, for me, these are amazing. They're huge bookshops. They have more books than my bookshop as like a tiny indie could ever really have. Like, the money that's poured into these places just to have everything that you're seeing. If you think about the cost, even just buying one book from the suppliers will normally cost about 70% of the retail price. So this book is £8.99, or £9.99 if a book is £10, so it's probably going to be that a regular bookshop, an indie bookshop, will have had to have paid £6 to £7 for that book. And then obviously when you sell it, you make that bit of money, but that little 30% is what then pays for your staff, your overheads, your rent, your bills. So it's actually really narrow. And so when you're looking at these places with so many books, that's the difference between a chain and an indie. An indie bookshop, you do have so much more limitation in what you can have. However, because of that, the upside of that is I find that people are super choosy. You know, if a book is going to make it onto my shelf, it has to be because it's brilliant. It has to be because I've loved it, or someone I know has loved it, and you want someone to read it, and you want someone, you know, you want to have it in your shop. Whereas places like this, I find a little overwhelming. There's so much choice, and you don't know if a book is there because it's the publisher's pushing it, because somebody has loved it, or because it's retailing well, or because you know, it's just commercial. I think that the huge variety is a pro and a con. So yeah, that's what I've been finding. Also, I love the community element of bookshops. I think for me, that's kind of, having been a librarian, that's kind of the prevailing factor, the push that I love about bookshops, is having that feeling of when you go into a bookshop and you feel like you've come home. And I love the smell of these kinds of bookshops. That does make me feel at home, and being surrounded by books does. But maybe that community element is missing a little bit for me. It makes me like homesick from my own shop when I visit others. So I'm excited to go back and have my book club meeting at the end of the week and stuff like that. But these are two that I wanted to recommend. So those are just some of my thoughts on bookshops. But I do love all of them, and I love the way that we all kind of work together and support each other. These are two of my favourites. So YA, if you like YA, or if you have people that you think are thinking of buying, and again, obviously you can buy in any bookshop, get from any library, or you can support us by buying online. But this is Children of Blood and Bone. It is really, really, really good to have diverse authors and diversity in fantasy. That's so key, and it's rare. It shouldn't be, but it is. So this one for sure. Secondly, Scythe. Just had to move there because there were children, and obviously I'm not going to film around kids. So Scythe would be my other recommendation. This is brilliant. It was gripping. It's a completed trilogy. If you like any kind of YA, I would thoroughly recommend this one. It gave me like Hunger Games vibes, but a little bit more apocalyptic. So this is like a apocalyptic world where people are professional scythes. So those are the people who come and kill people, unalive people, after a certain amount of time, because basically humanity's already fixed everything that might unalive someone otherwise. So things like disease just doesn't exist, but people can't live forever, otherwise you'd have population control. So there are people called scythes who have to train in when to cull the population. There are people who are corrupt. There's like a whole power dynamic, and yeah, the characters are brilliant. The plot races through. It's gripping. Thoroughly recommend. Okay, that's it from us in Oxford. I hope you're having the most amazing day, and thank you so much for exploring bookshops with us. I hope you like it. It's kind of hard to film because there's so many people, and obviously you don't want to invade people's privacy. So I hope that we've kind of shown you a little glimpse, maybe get you want to come to visit some of these bookshops in Oxford, and can't wait to see you soon back in my own shop. Bye for now.